Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss the fourth chapter, short answer questions along with their solutions. Okay, so let's see. The first question that is given is, what are the different ways in which a partner can retire from the firm? So let's see, there are three ways. The first way is what? The following are the different ways in which a partner can retire from a firm. The first one is with the consent of all other partners. Okay, so if all other partners agree, okay boss, you can go, then tata bye bye. So a partner must take the consent of all the partners. See, it is written all. Okay, just majority will not do. It has to be all partners retire. The co-partners of the firm before his or her retirement. Thereafter, the partners can retire from the firm if and only if all the partners, again majority will not work, all the partners agree on the decision of his or her retirement. Second is how he can retire, he or she can retire, is with an express agreement by all the partners. In case of written agreement among the partners, partners may retire from the firm by expressing his or her intention of leaving the firm through a notice to the other partners of the firm. So generally what happens, it is also written, the way of retiring can also be written in the partnership deed. How one partner, if wants to retire, can do all these formalities and can retire. And the last thing, by giving a written notice, if partnership among the partners is at will, okay, just remember this will happen in at will, okay, partnership. Then a partner may retire by giving notice in writing to all other partners, informing them about his or her intention to retire. The next question we have is, write the various matters that need adjustment at the time of retirement of partner or partners. So what all things do we need to do when one partner retires? Okay, so these are the adjustments that one needs to do. The following are the various matters that need to be adjusted at the time of retirement of a partner or partners. First of all, calculation of new gaining ratio of all the remaining partners, then calculation of new ratio of the remaining partners. So gaining ratio, new ratio. Next, calculation of goodwill of the new firm and its accounting treatment, revaluation of assets and liabilities, distribution of accumulated profits and losses and reserves, of course. If there is a joint life policy, what is joint life policy? That CBSE has taken it out of your syllabus. Earlier we used to do treatment for JLP, joint life policy as well, that all the partners together takes an insurance policy. So if one of the partner retires, now he's not, if he's dead, the policy matures. If he's just retiring, the policy is to be surrendered. All these things had to be considered. So you can just remember, or even if you don't, then that's okay. Treatment of JLP, joint life policy, then settlement of amount due to retiring partner. So amount due ka settlement and adjustment of capital. That was our last topic that we did. Okay, these are the 8 things one needs to do when a person is retiring, or many persons are retiring from the firm. Next question is, distinguish between sacrificing ratio and gaining ratio. So these are the 5 bases on which we are distinguishing. First is meaning. Sacrificing, it is a ratio in which old partners agree to sacrifice their share of profit in favor of the new partner or partners. It is the ratio in which continuing partners acquire the share of profits from the outgoing partner or partners. Then calculation is old ratio minus new ratio. It's new ratio minus old ratio. Time, it is the calculated time of admission of new partner or partners. It is calculated at the time of retirement or death of new partner or partners. The objective here is, it is calculated to ascertain the share of profit and loss given up by the existing partners in favor of new partners. Okay, and it is calculated to ascertain the share of profit and loss acquired by the remaining partners of the new firm in case of retirement from the retiring or deceased partner. And the last one is effect. So it reduces the profit share of the existing partners, or it increases the profit share of the existing partners. I guess you can come up with these on your own also, these differences. Question number 4 here is what it is. Why do firms revalue assets and reassesses their liabilities on retirement or on the event of death of a partner? So what is the need of revaluation of assets and reassessment of liabilities? At the time of retirement or death of a partner, it becomes inevitable to revalue the assets and liabilities of the firm for ascertaining their true and fair value. So the first point, why do we that? For ascertainment, to find out the true and fair values of assets and liabilities. The revaluation is necessary as the value of assets and liabilities may increase or decrease. So the second is value may increase, so may change, so value may change, okay, with the passage of time. Further, it may be possible that there are certain assets or liabilities that remain unrecorded assets or liabilities is the third reason. Then the retiring or deceased partner may be benefited or may bear loss due to change in the values of assets and liabilities. Therefore, the revaluation of assets and liabilities is necessary in order to ascertain true profit or loss, to ascertainment of true profit or loss. Okay, even if you just remember these highlighted things, you will be able to make the entire answer. That is to be divided among all the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Okay, next question we have. Why a retiring or deceased partner is entitled to a share of goodwill in the firm? Because even he contributed to make the firm reach at a level which is it now. So goodwill is an intangible asset of a firm that is earned by the efforts of all the partners. So efforts are by all the partners. After the retirement or death of a partner, the fruits of the past performance and reputation will be shared only by the remaining partners. Thus, the remaining partners should compensate the retiring or the deceased partner by entitling him or her a share of firm's goodwill. Okay, and I guess this was the last question. Yes, this was the last question. In our next video, we'll be discussing the long answer questions. Okay, and then numericals. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.